What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be looking at every single new elemental power that was introduced in Season 2. So let's talk about this. Now, in Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 2, we of course meet a lot of new elemental masters with brand new elemental powers. And we're going to go through of the new elemental powers that were introduced in Season 2 Part 2. So not new elemental masters with old elemental powers such as nature, shadow, and smoke, etc. We're not going to be talking about those, but the new elemental powers that were introduced in this season. So without further ado, let's talk about them. Now, the first elemental power we got is Shockwave. Zeatrix is the current elemental master of Shockwave, and the user's ability can create shapes and generate and manipulate shockwaves, which the user can create a blast of shockwave like energy. The next elemental power we of course got is Reflex, which Zerg is the current elemental master of Reflex, which the user has a better reflex at superhuman degree, which they can of course use to avoid attacks, which it can also be used to increase their reflex further, which it also has superhuman degree of agility to support their reflex, and the user has superhuman levels of swiftness whenever they use this power actively. Up next, we got the elemental power of Quake, which Frack is the current elemental master of Quake, which this user is able to create, manipulate, and generate vibrations in the form of an earthquake. And this user can infuse themselves or an object with a sentimental energy to increase their strength of their blows. And the user is immune to the effects of their own quakes. Up next, we got the elemental power of Balance, which Kizzy is the current elemental master of. Now, the user has a better balance at superhuman degree, which allows them, for an example, to not fall down during like a parkour. The user has a better athleticism at their superhuman degree, and the user is immune to the effects of gravity, being able to float around for a short time. Next up, we of course got the elemental power of Figment, which the user's ability can duplicate themselves into seeing infinite copies or many of them as much as they can handle, which is possible for them to duplicate in any way unimaginable. And users' clones have lack of a physical body, causing, of course, solid matter and attacks to slip through them. They could possibly join with their clones back into one, and if the user is holding an object while duplicated, they can also create replications of that said object. Next, we of course got the elemental power of Size, which Gorge is the current elemental master of Size, which the user can manipulate their own size. They can increase the size of themselves or anything and everything to a hulking giant. And the user can gain an increase in strength when they grow giant. Up next, we of course got the elemental power of Surface Tension, by far my favorite new elemental power. No sarcasm, but Mord is of course the current elemental master of Surface Tension, which the user can manipulate the surface tension of liquids such as water. They can also create and make bubbles, and they can of course use bubbles to of course attack their opponents. They can release bubbles over a specific target area, causing great damage or delivering great shockwaves of pure force. And finally, the last new elemental power we have is Propulsion, which Arcrack is the current elemental master of Propulsion. Now, the user is able to create and manipulate propulsion, and they can, of course, curl up into a ball for attacks, defense, and mobility. The user can also charge up and propel themselves with energy to increase the strength of their blows in ball form, and they can, of course, roll towards an opponent at high speed. Plus, the rolling attack, while attacking, you can, of course, cover consistently distance in the process. But yeah, that's all of the brand new elemental powers that are introduced in Season 2 Part 2. Comment down below on your favorite new elemental power. To me, it's gotta be Surface Tension, no sarcasm. But for real, my favorite new elemental power has to be Quake because Frack is an interesting character. But I can't wait to see more of Frack in Season 3. But yeah, that's gonna be it in today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe, turn on notifications whenever I post a brand new video. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!